So we're gonna have a good time tonight. That's just a peek at a couple things that we're going to be sharing with you. And of course, if you own any of the goodies in the show, I would love to chat with you. 1-866-376-8255. As you call in to order, please stay on the phone. Would love to get to say hi. All right, well, we're gonna start because of course we all have been enjoying, I've been up since 5. I'll admit it. I could not miss a minute. I was riveted to the beautiful royal wedding. I thought it was the most exquisite of all. I just loved every minute. I'm sure you did too. It was so touching and heartwarming and just so very special. So if you enjoyed it, as we all did, I'm sure you watched the exchange of the rings, and one of the most iconic rings that we have been seeing of late is the ring that is inspired by Meghan Markle's beautiful engagement ring that was given to her by Prince Harry. So what we did is we created a replica of that ring in white topaz. It's the 3-stone design, same size as her center stone, same cut, the side cuts. We did ours in precious sterling. This is the anti-tarnish rhodium finish. So it's definitely modern, beautiful, everyday. And if you are looking for a way to wear a gorgeous 3-stone ring, whether or not you choose this because it's one that is inspired by Meghan's ring, but more importantly, it's just a very beautiful, elegant ring that I think you will love having on your finger. Frankly, I don't normally tell you that white topaz looks like diamonds, but this actually does, and a lot of it has to do with the cut. We cut it, again, exactly by diamond cutters, the way a diamond would be cut. And so it has enormous sparkle. Isn't it beautiful? Beautiful faceting, gorgeous sparkle, 3-stone styling. We've not ever done it at $89.90, lowest price on this ring. There's a few hundred available. We have it on 5 payments of $17.98. Here's pretty Kate, who's going to be with me throughout the 2 hours to show off all the gorgeous jewels. So if you see anything you love, jump in. But look at how gorgeous on the hand. Again, you could easily wear this in place of an engagement ring, right hand ring, gorgeous anniversary ring, just a beautiful 3-stone design. And what a fun way to add something special and definitely a look that is iconic to your own jewelry wardrobe, a definite collectible to be sure. And I think what's fun about it is that it's one of those rings that never goes out of fashion. It's that 3-stone yesterday, today, tomorrow design. So it's something that commemorates our memories of yesterday, to be reminded, to be thankful and grateful for all of the blessings in the present, and then to look forward to the future. And that's the concept behind a 3-stone ring, which has become one of the single most popular rings to commemorate a milestone, an anniversary, a birthday, the birth of a child. It's just a really, really beautiful style and design. So there it is, and I should show all of you. We did a matching earring. I own these studs. I love them. I love to wear studs. I wear studs often, but I just wanted you to see that there is an earring that would also work back to this beautifully. If you would like to add the matching earring to your shopping cart, we do have both available. The ring is available in sizes 5 through 10. So you can choose the size that you would need. It's cast and designed and made in your exact size, so you can expect a perfect custom fit when you get this home. Notice how all that sparkle, the depth of the stone, the perfect symmetry of those stones, the sparkle, sparkle, sparkle. I know many of you know the history of this ring. Obviously, this was chosen by Prince Harry for his beautiful bride, and the side stones were actually his stones that he used for her ring were actually chosen and used from a piece of Princess Diana's jewelry, which I think makes it that much more special. So there's your ring if you'd like to order it. We do have your size, so we're here waiting for you. 601771 is the item number. Now the matching studs, the studs are gorgeous.